The goal of equanimity is to listen to effect these winds have on your mind that occur to one extent or the other every day. Examples of a worldly winds might be: we fall madly in love. Okay, we must balance good and bad so that while we recognize the good news, we also understand it isn't permanent. We accept that the world will balance things over time. In this way, we neither get too high or too low when we react to these events. This isn't to say we shouldn't feel joy or happiness when something good happens. We just needed to put it into perspective. Equanimity allows us to do that. Without equanimity as a governor, going back and forth is exhausting. The goal is a complete mental calmness. Sometimes we can reach that state, but since the pursuit of equanimity is a lifelong venture, we must refine our approach and course correction as we go along. Our eight worldly beings are teachers. From a spirit point of view, we need all eight in our lives. Without one half of the pair, the other ceases to exist or carries no meaning. However, too much preoccupation with the eight worldly winds is considered a barrier to equanimity. Being too caught up in them creates emotional instability. Equanimity attempts to steer a course down the middle of each of these pairs. It does not entirely fall in line with one side or the other. Equanimity accepts the reality of each wind without following it. The realization is that the winds are not permanent, and when they change, it's easier to respond with more flexibility. All of this philosophy is well and good. However, you must decide what your relationship is with equanimity now and in the future. Your relationship with equanimity. When it comes to equanimity, people generally fall into one of four categories: aggressive and with equanimity, aggressive and lacking equanimity, passive with equanimity, passive and lacking equanimity. Of these, there is only one ideal state you should target: aggressive and with equanimity. Oh, aggressive and with equanimity. If you're passive, equanimity won't help you much other than to be nagging part of a brain that reminds you that you're too laid back and that can you accomplish it. Anything. Okay, I'm kind of aggressive. Now, it's an aggressive attitude, which is like for my goal and then also like, like perspective as well. Okay, come to accomplish anything significant in your life, you must bring a certain level of tenacity to your life. You don't have to turn up the dial to 10 at all times, but you must lead a life where you get stuff done. I mentioned at the beginning of this chapter that I haven't always approached life with enough equanimity. I admit that I was such a hard charger that I threw my life out of balance. Okay, and I didn't even know it at the time. Sure, I got stuff done. I made a lot of money, but I paid a higher price than I needed to by not practicing equanimity for many years. The journey to equanimity does not happen overnight. As I learned, it requires years of being mindful and intentional in your thoughts and actions. What more thinkers also understand, equanimity is not the permanent, it's the fleeting, and it will come and go as various challenges occur in your life. You will move between degrees of equanimity from day to day and moment to moment. My goal is to make sure you don't go through life without enough equanimity as I did. Find the peace and the mental calmness as soon as you can. Your relationship with equanimity is force that makes it many other good things possible in life. One more prayer. The first goal of the class of natural sciences will make you an atheist. But at the bottom of glass, God is waiting. Can you see faith? Can you touch, taste, or smell it? Faith. Of course not. But for eons, faith has remained the single most dominant and driving force in man's search for spiritual peace and truth. Okay, faith. Mhm. I know that faith is a highly personal choice for everyone. I respect people all faith and the freedom to pursue the faith in whatever way brings the most meaning to each of you in your own lives. Having said that, I wouldn't be writing a book that's true to myself if I didn't share with you the significant impact my faith as a Christian has had on my life. In fact, it's had the biggest impact of anything on my life. Quite frankly, I've struggled writing this chapter not because of the deep belief in my faith, but because I want to share with you the huge impact I know prayer can have on your life. I also want to be transparent about my love of Jesus. Having said that, I also want to be respectful of your beliefs and not push you away by preaching. This is not a chapter about religion. This is a chapter about using prayer and the faith as a strategy to help you achieve your goals. And even if faith doesn't play a big role in your life, keep reading because I'm also going to tell you how I think others can't affect your life in this area as well. What is faith? You know, faith moves mountains, but it only begins to scratch the surface of what faith truly is. Faith is universal. Every civilization since the beginning of time has practiced some sort of faith-based spirituality. It's also fair to say that prayer is a manifestation of faith. Faith and prayer combine to give you a path to peace, truth, conviction, and living by moral code. They go hand in hand, but each is uniquely different, and they exist in harmony for your benefit. In one more terms, approach faces your thoughts. Approach faces your actions. When you combine them, they form a bond, unlike anything else. That's why it's important to think about your faith often and then act by committing to prayer often too. Most people are driven by some form of faith that is strengthened and confirmed by prayers. Prayers can strengthen your faith and based beliefs. In turn, that defines your character, what you think about yourself, and how you treat others. In fact, I can attest that one more faith has drawn me closer to Jesus every day of my life. Consciously and subconsciously, you pray more than you realize. You may not always view it as a prayer, but your mind's natural tendency is to think about what you want in life. You see them as desires, but in reality, desires are a form of prayer. When you desire a job promotion, a happy and loving relationship, good health, or wealth, whether you realize it or not, you are engaging in a form of a prayer. That leads to several questions. Are you praying often enough? Is prayer a regular part of your daily activities? Do you only pray when you need your God's help? How often do you give intentional thought in what is it you pray about? You are practicing gratitude when you pray, and after your prayers are answered. How do you define faith and prayer? Just as every person has a unique relationship with their God, faith and prayer take on a highly personal meaning for every one of us. Because my eyes are so tired. It's too dark. Okay. I don't think it was related to with this book. Actually, this paper book. I mean, yeah. So I don't think it's a good idea. Oh, my eyes so tired. Oh, I should use the light for that, but okay. Hmm. Try to read um ebook. As a man thinking. Hmm. Foundation stones. Oh, it's really a bad idea when I just read the book in the dark. In the dark, right? So I should use the light. I think I should buy the small one actually. So I think it's just a good idea for that. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Just gonna try to keep reading for that. Okay, try to read it maybe about equal mindedness. To be equal minded is to be peacefully minded. For a man cannot set to have a brighter peace who allows his mind to be disturbed and thrown off the balance by occurrences. The man of wisdom is dispassionate and amidst all things with the calmness of mind and repose and free from prejudice. He is not a partisan, having put away passion, and he is always at peace with himself and the world, not taking sides nor defending himself, but sympathizing with all. The partisan is so convinced that his own opinion and his own side is right, and all that goes contrary to them is wrong, that he cannot think there is any good in the other opinion and the other side. He lives in a continual fever of attack and defense, and has no knowledge of the quiet peace of the equal mind. The equal-minded man watches himself in order to check and overcome even the appearance of passion and the prejudice in his mind, and by so doing, he develops a sympathy for others and comes to understand their position and the particular state of mind. And as he comes to understand others, he perceives the folly of condemning them and opposing himself to them. Thus there grows up in his heart a divine charity which cannot be limited, but which is extended to all things that live and strive and suffer. When a man is under sway of passion and prejudice, he is spiritually blind, seeing nothing but in his own sight and nothing but even the other. He cannot see anything as it really is, not even his own side. And not understanding himself, he can understand the hearts of others and the things. It is right that he should condemn them. Thus, there grew up in his heart a dark hatred for those who refuse to see with him and who condemn him in return. He becomes separated from his environment and confines himself to the narrow torture chamber of his own making. Sweet and peaceful are the days of equal-minded men, fruitful and good, and rich in manifold blessings. Guided by wisdom, he avoids those pathways which lead us on to hatred and sorrow, death, and pain, and takes those which lead up to love and peace and bliss. The occurrences of life do not disturb him, nor does he grieve over those things which are regarded by mankind as grievous, but which must befall all men in ordinary course of nature. He is neither elated by success nor cast down by failure. He sees the events of his life arrayed in their proper propositions, and can find no room for selfish wishes and vain regrets, for vain anticipations and childish disappointments. And how is this equal-mindedness, the blessed state of mind and life, acquired? Only by overcoming oneself, only by purifying one's own heart. For the purification of the heart leads to unbiased comprehension. Unbiased comprehension leads to equal-mindedness, and the equal-mindedness leads to peace. The impure man is swept helplessly away on the waves of passion. The pure man guides himself into the harbor of rest. The fool says, I have an opinion. The wise man goes about his business. Okay, I think that's enough. Oh my god, I'm so tired. If I just read in the dark, that's what it really affects me, you know. My eyes make him feel really tired. It was not a good idea. Okay.